Hello coders, welcome to Level Up with Coding. Today I will be discussing the problem number 402, remove k digit. Okay, so first understand what the problem is. The problem is basically saying that you have a given a string and which consists the number 0 to 9, and you also given in k, and you have to return the smallest number after removing k digit from the string. That means if you are given a string like 1 2 3 4 and you have given k is 2, so after removing two digits, any two digits, what is the smallest number you can get? So for that case, if we remove 3 and 4, we get 12, and this is the smallest number which we can get after removing two digit, and this is the problem and we have to solve the problem. Okay, so basically you have given a string and a k, and you have to return the smallest number you can achieve from this after removing k digit. And there is another case, if you have given a string like 21001 and you have given that k is equal to 2, so after removing two digit, what is the smallest number you can get from that string? So if I remove 2 and 1, we will get 0 0 minus 1. Okay, so this is the smallest number we can get, and for that case we have to eliminate the leading 0. We have to just eliminate the leading 0. For that case the answer will be 1, not the 0 0 1. Okay, so this is an 1 edge case. Okay, so this is the problem. I think the problem is clear. Okay, so now move to the solution part, how we'll approach the problem. Okay, for the first example, the number is 1432219 and k is 3. So if we remove 9, 4 and 3, what the number will get? We'll get the number 1229, but this is not the answer. The answer is 1219. So if we remove top k elements from that string, so we are not able to get the smallest number. Okay, so let's take another example to understand. If I have a number like 149, I have gave that k is 2. So if we remove for that case 4 and 9, so we will get easily 1, which is the smallest number after removing k digit. But if we have a number like 2219 and I have a given k is 2, so if I remove 9 and 2, what is the number we will get? We will get 21. But this is not the smallest number. Why? Because if we remove 2 and 2, we will get 19. So this is the smallest number. So what is the logic behind them? So if I see that my current element, that means my current digit is less than the previous digit, that means the previous some elements are greater than my current digit. Okay, so we have just to remove those elements. Okay, why? Because if we see that my current element is 1 and there are previous there is element like 8 9. Okay, and again there is a number like 9 and my k is 2. Okay, my k is 2. So if I remove the top two element 9 and 9, so the number become 81. Okay, but this is not the smallest number because the smallest number is 19, because if we remove 8 and 9 we can get 19, which is the smallest number after removing two digits. Okay, so how we can reach that smallest number? So what I am saying, that if I see that my current digit previous element is greater than the current digit, so we remove the previous, because it will form greater number. Because if we don't remove the 9 and again we add 1, so it becomes 891. So this is the greater element, but if we remove 9, so it's become 81, so this becomes small, right? Okay, so what I am doing, so I am seeing that the previous element is greater, so I just remove them. Again, now my k becomes 1. I am removing one number, my k becomes 1. Now again I am seeing that previous element is 8 and I am current in 1, so I just remove them. So this becomes 19 now. So this is the answer. But what if there is a number 1 to 3 and I have removed k is 2? So for that case, what I have to remove? I have to remove from the last. If the number is strictly increasing, then I just easily remove from the last. And another one case, that if my number is like 2 1 0 3, so if I want to remove two numbers, so if I remove 2 and 3, the numbers become 10, but this is not the smallest, because if I remove 2 and 1, the numbers become 0 3, the numbers become 0 3, and so we have to return 3, not 0 3. Okay, so how we can achieve? As I mentioned, that if I see that this is my current element, assume that this is my current element, previous element is greater, so we remove 2 and my k is become 1. Now this is my current element and the previous element is greater than current element, so I remove 1 also and my k becomes 0. So we don't have to remove anything. But if we see that my current element is 0 3, but there is leading 0, so we have to remove those 0. So we have to remove the zeros also. Okay, so for that case this is 3. So how will solve the problem? So basically we'll take a stack, and using stack we have try to achieve the solution. How? If we see that my stack is empty, so we just push in my stack. But whenever I see that my current element is less than stack top element, that means stack is not empty, but stack top element is greater than my current element. That means there is some element in previous which is greater than my current element, so we have to remove. So we just remove from the stack. Now I just push my current element in my stack. Now my current element in my stack, the stack element is 1, so I just go to the next index. What is the next value? 0. And is my stack empty? No. What is the stack value? 1. So 1 is greater than 0. Okay, so we just remove 1 also and push 0 in my stack. Okay, but for that case k is 2, right? So we just remove 2 element. So 2 element we have removed, so we don't have to remove anything again. But there is one case, when we are trying to push in stack, we just have to check is it a leading 0 or not, because if we push 0, it will not remove again, because from the stack the element will be removed when some element in future will be smaller than the element. Because if we push the 2 in stack, and whenever we reach in 1 and we checking that stack element is 2, so we remove 2. But whenever we reach 0, there is no element which is less than 0, so we don't able to pop 0 from the stack, so we have to also remove the leading 0. So what we can do? So whenever I see that my stack is empty and my current element is 0, okay, so we just skip the element. We don't have to push in stack because this will be my leading 0. Okay, so now I think the approach is clear. So just take an example and understand. Okay, so for that second example, like 10200, and it is mentioned that k is 1. So what is the smallest number after removing one digit? So first I am seeing this is 1, so my stack is first empty, so I just push in my stack and I will move forward to the next element. The next element is 0, so I am seeing stack is not empty, but stack top element is 1 and my current element is 0, which is less than the stack top element, so we just have to remove from the stack. Okay, but I'm seeing that stack is empty, so we just have to push the current element in stack. But whenever I try to push in my stack, I am seeing that my stack is empty and my current element is 0, so we just skip the 0. We don't have to push them because it will becomes a leading 0. So whenever I see 2, but after performing this operation my k also becomes 0 because as I remove one element. Okay, so whenever I see 2, I just simply put them because my stack is empty and no elements are there, so we don't have to compare any one of them. But whenever see an again and 0, I am seeing that my stack is not empty, and my stack element also greater than 0, but we don't have to remove the 0 or 2, remove the 2, because my k becomes 0, because we just have to remove only one element. Okay, so we just push in stack. Why I am pushing 0 again in my stack? Because now my 0 is not leading 0. Why not leading 0? Because in the stack there are some on. Okay, and again we are pushing 0, so this will not become leading 0. Okay, so and again we have seen 0 and pushing the 0, so the answer will be 200. So after performing all operation, my stack looks like 200. So whenever we complete all the operation, what we will doing, we will just check again is any case remaining or not. Okay, if there is case 3 and we are able to remove only 2 elements, so my k is only 1, so we have to remove one elements again. Okay, so what I have to do, we have to then remove from the stack stop. Okay, why? Because if I see there is element like 1 to 3 and we have to remove only 2 elements, so using my approach, what I am doing, I am doing that my current element is 1, so I simply push in my stack, and next element is 2, which is 2 is greater than 1, so we don't have to pop from the stack, so we just also add in stack 2, and again we just add to stack in 3. Okay, but we will not remove anything, so k is also become 2. My stack looks like 1 2 3, but after that if k is remaining, we just have to remove k elements, so we just remove 3 and 2, and my smallest element is 1. Okay, so after removing all the cases, we just have to take out the element from the stack. Like, let's assume there is a element like x1 x2 x3 in the stack after performing all operation. So whenever we remove from the stack, the strings become x3 x2 x1. Okay, but we need this sequence, so after removing all the element from the stack, we just have to reverse the string also. But if we see that my stack is empty after performing all the operation, that means there is no element, that means we remove all the element, so we simply return 0. And if stack is not empty, we simply pop out all the element and store in a string and reverse the string, and this will be my answer. Okay, and what is the time complexity? The time complexity will be order of n, because we are just iterating through all the element, and space complexity also will be order of n, because we are just using a stack and a strings to store. Okay, so the time complexity is order of n, and the space complexity also order of n. And let's move to the code editor. So first we will find what is the length of my current string. Okay, but if we see that my k is greater than my current length, that means if I have elements 2 and k is 3, so we can able to remove all the element. That means if n is greater than equal to k, so we have to just return 0. Okay, then what I have to do, we just initialize and stack of character. Then what I have to do, we just push the first character, because the first element will not remove first. Okay, so what I will be doing, I just push my first character. Then what I will be doing, I will iterating through next element. What is the next element? From 0 to n, for I 1 to n, right? Because I am pushing 0 element first and then try to iterating through all the element. So if I see what is the current element, my current element is ith index value. Okay, my current element is ith index value. So if I see that my current element is less than stack top element, so we have to just remove. But there is another case. So what is the case? My stack should be not empty. Okay, my stack should be not empty, and also my k should be greater than 0. That means I have to take permission whether I can remove the elements or not. If k is 0, so we don't need to remove, and this case will doing whether it is true. What I am doing, I just pop the element from the stack, and after popping, if we see that my stack is empty and my current element is 0, that means this is leading 0, so we simply continue. But if we not see this, so what we will doing, we just push the current element. Okay, and for that case k will be minus minus, because after popping all one element, the k will be decreased by 1. So after performing this operation, we have to check and again whether there is any k remaining or not. If I see that my k is greater than 0 and my stack is not empty, okay, so what I have to do, again we have to remove only the top element. Okay, so we just remove the top element and k will be minus minus. And after that, if we see that if my stack is empty, that means there is no element in stack, so we just return 0. Okay, but if stack is not empty, we just have to store the element in a string. Okay, stack element in a string. So we just using a string builder and we'll iterating through whole stack until this is not become empty. That means whether until my stack is not empty, will simply append my stack top element in the string. Okay, and after that what I will doing, we just reverse the string, and after that we just return the string. Okay, and let's submit the solution. Yeah, it accepted, and let's submit it. Yeah, it beeps 50%. In case you understand the solution, make sure you subscribe our channel and share with your friends, and stay connected with us. Thank you.